Hello, this is FG back with EU4 Anbennar, continuing on with the Konolkhatep campaign. Last episode, we secured even more of East Sarhal for our rule. And now, we are mostly just waiting for our Ahadi disaster to fire. Because, without that, I do not want to do a bunch of these decisions. Although I suppose I can do a few of these. I need to keep... I don't want to do this mission. This mission will, lead to things. And our raid there. Is this being protected? Yeah. That is not. That is not. Alright. Right here. Here. There. 24. 22. 91. 15. And with this money, we can... have the admin tech for that. Alright, so ships. These guys can protect trade in the Mother Sorrow. Is Elisna allied with anyone? They are not. Alright, I'm going on Elisna then. Break the wind. The Vogmezka mystics of Izor harness the desert as an ally, sliding through the dunes at incredible speeds and weaponizing sandstorms against their foes. But these sands cannot protect them from our might. Salahad belongs to Konolkhatep now, and bowing to our empire is the destiny of all who inhabit it. This fate cannot be outrun nor deterred with walls of sand. The winds of the desert will kneel to us. Izoric, Sandwind, such was the title bestowed by the Vogmezka, Kavanga mystics of the desert, the gnolls they chose to lead the charge against the Zabacultists. Indeed, Irkorzik, Wind of the Desert, would go on to unify many Windtower packs under her lead, greatly spreading the Kavanga faith in the process. She was chosen by the Vogmezka after tenaciously enduring the harshest punishment of the Salahad during a terrible sandstorm. The mystics called the Trial of the Sands, a concept that became the cornerstone of pack politics from there onwards. It seems, however, that the Windtower pack was focused too much on the trials of sand and too little on preparing for the trials of the sword. We have crushed the armies of Irkorzik and ended the reign of the Vogmezka, proving that ours only is the right to rule the Salahad. They harness the full power of the desert against us, moving through the dunes as a fish does through water and conjuring terrible sandstorms, but the greatest empires cannot be toppled by a little sand and wind. As their cousins and rivals to the west, the Windtowers of Irkorzik claimed the legacy of Biakata, the woman raised by gnolls who restored the Fangulin Empire and unified gnolls and humans under it. As such, they sought to restore the ties between Fangulins and Windtowers, broken by the onslaught of the vile Twin Zaz. They clearly did not achieve this goal, but we will have no trouble succeeding where they failed. We, however, do not care the slightest for their legacy of this Fangulin Empress, as it is not under her heirs that the gnolls and humans have truly found eternal unity, but under the great and mighty Konolkhatep. The question is, should we absorb these gnolls into our empire and establish direct rule over this section of the Salahad, or should our emperor take the crown of Irkorzik and grant the winds of the desert a degree of autonomy? They will be absorbed. Right. And they can do that. And then we will core up these two provinces. Excellent initiative. Alright, where is my... we'll send this army up north. We are going to go fight Elisna, because we have permaclaims on them. Victories across the sands. We know this all too well, and we too followed a path not so long ago. Where are they going? Alright. War cost against other religions is great. Navies, get you all together. Unworthy. Okay, thank God. You might be saying, why did I say thank God? Didn't our ruler just die and we lose a bunch of mandate? You are absolutely right. But what this means is that it is finally time to finish this damn disaster so I don't have to be waiting in terror for it to screw me over again. This is actually the second time I'm recording past the 1517, so last episode. I recorded the last episode 2 times. One time ended in horrible, miserable failure because the Ahadi rose up basically after I'd fought a death war against Jadari, which had basically exhausted my manpower totally. And we have, 3 missions, because we're going to need a bunch of... what's it called? These guys can protect trade in the Mother Sorrow. Meanwhile, I can take this Carrick. All this been eluded. Yeah, I'll convert all of these gnolls over to the correct religion. Great, they are all going to absolutely love. Worshipping the Khet. I do not care about the loyalty of the Ahadi. Alright. The Ahadi Revolt. Alright, you can read this if you wish. Alright, how bad is it? Not too bad. Now I'll take that. Give me all the negative events. Assassination. Okay, that's bad. Oh, we have a really good regent, though. Ships. otherwise can't protect trade from the mother's sorrow. Divine guidance. Alright. Okay, now we can raid. Let's go. Yeah. Alright. War economy. Tail the burgers. I'll do this for the extra trade power. Privateer in Eberthiel. Let's see how much I can... Alright, that's pretty good. That hasn't actually been looted yet. Alright. Let's do missionary strength. They're not even losing that much influence with the ginormous war going on. Alright, so these guys can come back here and protect trade from the mother's sorrow. These guys can chill out. Alright, so... Let's go like this. Sack of Hanrat. Okay, give me like 1 month. Alright. Wed and Gizel Mora can both be rivals. Excellent. In terms of institutions... insult, vicious mockery. Sure, give me the free prestige. Thank you very much. Alright. I can afford to do that. And then with this, I can go ahead and accept Inwarji. They're good oil Khetist. Yeah, it's fine. Gotta keep them all loyal. South stirs. Alright. We're doing good dealing with the Ahadi. Sure. Yep. We want tech. Getting it 1 per month. Okay. We're gonna need to embrace an institution soon, so we want cash. Just obscene amounts of money. This won't end up being a huge amount of money, but it will at least keep us afloat in the time between us doing all of this and, what's it called? Almost entirely got rid of Windhowler. Oh, my tributaries are doing it. Governor. Where does Akhehet have cores? Kill the rebels, for we are the true stewards of the sorrow. Alright. turn. No. No, that's too many ships. Got Arcs 8, yep. For further prestige. Wait, has 0 siege. It's better. Cow-based folktales. Okay. Deal with that one. And we have pretty big debuffs, and I think they have a hottie units. Which is why this is a little bit harder than it really should be. Yeah, do that one. Yeah, we'd actually like that. In victory, alright. With the Akaheta crush, the Ahadi have lost considerable influence. Alright, and then we can do that. Stay of execution. The last of the rebels have been put on trial, and to prevent any new rebellion, changes were made. The Ahadi have been reorganized to prevent the Dragonsworn veterans from wandering the lands and causing trouble, with some strict rules, that is. We are now in full control over the Brotherhoods, and their members swear an oath of loyalty not to Akahet or the Sorrow, but to us directly instead. They will be loyal to the end of days, and in exchange they will be given small pieces of land and lower titles again. They will be employed throughout the state. With the civil conflict over, we can finally focus on more important matters of state again. We can restore our sphere of influence, reconnect with our Madassian satrapies, and restore the lands of the Tsar to their former glory and prosperity. Peace is upon us. Alright. So we can do that. Alright. And we want to... What's our devastation looking like? Probably not great. Yeah, we'll throw that down. Decree of Salvation for the quite large reductions to, what's it so let's get rid of 1, 2, 5, 6, 8. Okay, so that's 10 there. Here, you can get rid of all of them. 2, 2. Okay. So we are now up to 30,000 men in the front line. Execution fed in True Faith provinces. 28. You get... I like the Ahadi. Okay. Aristocratic recruitment, Khet guardians, state merchants. Support Northern Brotherhood. Ahadi commanders. What's their loyalty at now? 57. Ahadi overseers. Alright. I'll do control, control. I'll do... Alright. And we can now do End the Scourge. The Corsairs of Viacok have long tormented both the lands of Akasik they rule and the shores of the Divinal they raid. Amongst the most fervent Zabacultists of Halan, these gnolls foolishly believe that the wretched powers their demonic master grants them will make them invincible. Grizka already proved this to be a lie when she slayed Viacok the 10th, but their accursed dynasty continues tormenting the seas of Halan, seas that now belong to us. Let us drown them in the seas they claim to scourge. The Corsair kings of Viacok once ruled vast expanses of the savannah across Van Gil and the southern Salahad. Crushingly defeated by the Pyreclaw armies of Grizka, the Sea Surge fled to the mountains of the Akasik. There they slaughtered and enslaved both the Akasi humans and the local stone-winged harpies, and with thousands ending their days, and the demonic pyres are tirelessly toiling under brutal slavery. As terrible and cruel was their rule in the lands of the mountains worshippers, as were the raids across all shores and seas of the Divinal. Even the haughty nobles of Anbennar soon learned to fear the demonically enhanced pirates, for they brought only death and chains on board of their dreaded ships. But as our legions marched in Akasik, these wretched pirates found themselves outmatched on land and sea. Their ships sunk, their slaves under new management, and their wretched demonic worship stopped once and for all. Fallen are too the old realms of Akasik, their mountain mother failing to protect them yet again. As it did when Elka had slayed their storm queens. Eka, Kasa, and Deshak have been saved from the vile demon worship, but the Nolish rule was inevitability for these lands. Indeed, they should be grateful that it is our benevolent and glorious empire that has finally subjugated them. Many kings there were who wore the name Viacok, and cursed pirates and warlocks the lot of them were. Today, the last one of this cursed line is finally sleeping with the fishes, and Konolkhatep stands proud as sovereign over all people of Akasik, gnoll, human, and harpy alike. The piratical expertise of the Sea Scourge gnolls that have now joined our ranks will surely be invaluable for our navy. The question is, should we absorb these former corsairs directly into our empire, placing the lands of Akasik under our direct control, or should our emperor take the crown of Bayakok and grant the Scourges of Seas a degree of autonomy? They will be absorbed. Alright. So, we have... Where is my fleet? Yes. $30. I get... Oh, that's funny. I will abandon this. Alright. Yep, that's getting done. Not us. Spy network. You can do... Oh, no. Come right here. Let's formalize the Madasi. And, of course... We can do that. Influence. Oh, I can do that. Izagumze. I have... Yes, I do have a simulation program going. Okay, these guys can all get together. Trade ships need to protect trade in the Mother Sorrow. And let's do... I need 2 more hottie over here. Alright. And then... Nope, can't do that. Alright, take that off. Take this one off. And... we also want to go to spy network right here. I think I'll probably take a lot of Bulwar for myself. I'm gonna need to make sure they hand off provinces. And I'll do that. We want... offensive ideas, I think, would probably be best for us. I actually want the deploy rep. Alright. Let's go up to... There's nothing stopping us going up to 12 cannons. Okay. And next we can do... The so-called Slayer of Slayers, Rakaz II, was nothing more than an arrogant traitor, her mind corrupted by the wicked whisperings of accursed warlocks. She brought shame to the title of her mother earned fighting the wars of Irsmahop and the hordes of Vyakok. It is time to bring these righteous punishments to the wretched nest of evil that these gnolls dare call a pack. Silence the dark whispers. Knock the riders off their hyenas. Let us finish cleansing Goal once and for all by slaying those that claim to be slayers. Consorting with demons is already a terrible sin, for which death is the only possible atonement. There are, however, not demonic but equally dark forces from which the wicked might seek gifts and boons. The terrible whispers that emanate from the tainted shadow swamp have attracted many a warlock and necromancer. The fools seek only power, riches, or even immortality from the vile entities of the shadow plane, and find only death and suffering once their usefulness has expired. Such is the nature of the warlocks that seize power in the pack of Rakaz, puppeteering this weak line to the so-called Slayer of Slayers. No deed was too foul for these lost souls, from perfidious necromancy to sacrifices even more torturous than those Zabacultists usually perform. But all their treachery and sorcery could not save them. The powers that they serve are fickle ones, quick to abandon those that fail or disappoint them. Even if this was not the case, the foul demon, hag, or spirit... No foul demon, hag, or spirit can stand in the way of the glorious and virtuous armies of Konolkhatep. None of these sorcerers have been spared, but the pack of Rakaz can offer many things besides rotten and cursed magic. The first Rakaz was indeed a noble and mighty hyena rider who rightfully earned the title Slayer of Slayers. The treason her daughter and the weakness of her line cannot be faulted on the whole pack. The fearsome hyenas they breed, their expert riders, their gladiatorial traditions will be excellent additions to Konolkhatepi cavalry. The question is, should we absorb the hyena riders, placing their once tainted lands under our direct control, or should our emperor take the crown of Rakaz and grant the Slayer of Slayer a degree of autonomy? They will be absorbed. Alright. Can we declare war on Muktahar again? Yeah, we can. Falling Imperial influence, excellent. Praise Elkhet. Under the rule of the mighty Elkhet, the lands of Keterata were transformed into an earthly paradise. He renounced godhood to guide and protect his people, and for that, all who live in the sorrow today owe him worship and reverence. However, the decadent Keterata of old failed to properly care for these duties, letting his great monuments decay and crumble. With the rise of the Sarumanes, whose ranks are filled with more and more gnolls each day, Elkhet has won legions of new servants to rectify this indignity. Okay, we are going to wait till we have them converted to actually take that decision. And we will declare for that. That has... Okay, yeah, we can safely sit there. And then... go right here, the cannons can come this way. Can actually get another cannon, because I think that one cannon set is stuck under a ship or something. And what we want is going to be something like that. Okay, so take these off. Okay, march back that way. I need to accept all of my Knowles' full cores. Speaking of, killed a few of those. And we also now want all of our money, or all of our tribute to be in admin for the most part. Also, I guess we accidentally got a bunch of Horsesh under our control just by vassal, or annexing, what are they called? Annexing a Viacog. Do is begin converting. All right. Come this way. Yeah, sure. These guys can all march here. And build a bunch of government buildings. Excellent. Adventures wanted. Alright. They can come this way. These guys can march over here. Where's the other army? Over this way. Discipline is good. We are caught up on technology for like 2 years. Do large cast iron cannons. And are we done converting? Yes, we are. Alright. Despoil the hammer. After unearthing a great Dao Genie palace in Kavangarak, the fragmented Kavanga packs of Hrodstad unified under the lead of Razarg, Hammer of Kavanga. The priest-smith turned packlord took this title because of a mighty genie relic he had discovered, a mighty magical warhammer capable of shaping and enchanting metal. The fierce faith of these smiths would be admirable if it wasn't so terribly misguided. Those zealots will soon find that no hammer, magical or not, can stop the march of our glorious armies. Let us end their primitive superstitions and vanquish their false goddess. We will shatter their hammer and their faith. Alright. Many gnolls across Sarhal adhere to the ancient Kavanga faith, but few did it with such fervor and devotion as the Fieldstalkers of Rogsteda. Their priestsmiths exalt metallurgy as the highest expression of the will of their goddess. Forging and reforging metal scraps scavenged across the vast savanna, they believed that doing this, they emulated the works of Kavanga, who they thought created the gnolls by reforging malevolent bestial spirits into being capable of good. Sometimes the scavengers found more than scrap metal, as hidden across the savannah are many marvelous and powerful genie relics. Indeed, the one that unified this loose confederation into a central state, Razarg, Hammer of Kavanga, took this title from a powerful genie warhammer he wielded, which in turn used to open the gates of the great Dao Palace of Ezram. Here he founded the city Kavangarak, which became the capital of the unified Kavanga faithful. Unfortunately for these misguided zealots, their false goddess could not protect them from us, blessed as we are by real gods that walk alone. Their priestsmiths forged and blessed all weapons and armor they could, and their zealous warriors used them to fight until the last breath, but ultimately we shattered their creations, returning them to the ground as the scrap they once were. The Hammer of Kavanga has been seized and brought to Keterat as a trophy, but we have no need for such a heathen relic. We will let the waters of the Mother Sorrow swallow it, so that no gnoll can claim the blessing of this false goddess again. There is no denying the mastery in crafting, forging, and scavenging that the Fieldstalkers possess, however, an expertise that will be of great use to Konolkhatep. The question is, should we erase the Makers League from history, absorbing its members into our empire, establishing direct rule over the Grkazi Savannah, or should our emperor take the crown of Hrodsteda and grant these smiths a degree of autonomy? We will take it. Alright. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, never mind. Forgot it does not give you cores if you're not the one annexing them. Or you're not annexing the null pack itself. Okay. Makings of a fleet. Keterat once boasted a majestic fleet, so mighty that the mere utterance of its name caused terror and dread in the hearts of their enemies. With it, they sieged a legion of Krah from the barbaric Canorian tribes and put them to good use, building magnificent works in the Mother Sorrow. Those days are long past, and the fleets of Keterat we conquered was nothing more than a bunch of rotting carcasses. Those that they once raided now pride themselves on charting the largest fleets in Halan, confident they make them untouchable. Well, not anymore. We will rebuild the dreaded fleet of Keterata greater than ever before, and the seas will bend to our will. Alright. Where is my trade fleet? We want to privateer in hypersteel, social mobility. Yeah, we can do that. Attack. Alright. 15 development. Removed here. Get a bunch from there. '83, 198. 58. 32. 27. 78. 6. 92. 35. Be able to raid up there. Go back to protecting trade in the Mother Sorrow. Nope, what am I doing? Trade. Not protecting, not protecting, not protecting. $90. 70. 63. 52. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 81. 136. Alright. Hopefully all of these provinces are our religion, which is good. Definitely need more government buildings. I'll actually hand out. I'll just state and receive the nobility. And work with this. Alright. Yeah, I'll keep the Ahadi a little bit happier. These guys can go. They can head down south. Alright. I kind of want more of this to be mine, but we are kind of at the point where we can't hold on to much more. Take that. Alright. Still want shitloads of admin. Down Snap is one to be a satrapy. Alright. Definitely gonna extend the regency of this one. Right, that is everyone converted over here. Okay. Come down. State houses also should help our admin quite a lot. Where'd my fleet go? Oh, they're over here. Yeah, you know, they can actually come home for a little bit. They can get the admiral there. I forgot to extend the... yeah, I need to do that. So doing fleet, yes. They started protecting trade over here. Or not. We will build our courthouses. Sons of Demeria, unite the Brotherhood, formalize the Madasi mines, restrict foreign trade. And the Khet, taste of magic, Starfall. Ceremonial pleasure barge. Is there any that give me... Exploit the land. Alright, we can do that. Declare war. Son. You know what? I'm an idiot. Who cares? Alright. They're transferring. That's transferring. Transfer from here. Should probably send the galley over here. Okay, there we are. I actually need to probably go sit right there to deal with that. Voices in the dark. Salahad is vast. It's something you don't truly appreciate until you're tasked with uncovering every wayward soul still clinging to the old ways. Despite the crap of our whips, uncovering every sect of the Zabba has proven difficult and expensive. Many in our administration have suggested an alternative approach. Let the cult die a natural death. Leave these wayward souls to hunt in the desert. They will not know the opulence of our cities and the wealth of Konolkhatep they refuse to embrace, but the children will. When they leave to hunt, they will walk into the streets of our incredible cities and see the magnificent statues built to Khet, and will fall to their feet and become stronger converts to the teaching of Khetism overnight. Alright. Okay, this army can go deal down there. Need to just focus that. Yeah, pick mercantilism, even though it doesn't actually do all that much. Up in arm. Ooh, free mandate. Sign me up. Of course the leader who's about to fight does. Oh yeah, we got to develop Oroshesh a bunch. Illusion, assimilation program. See, the fun thing, though, is they cannot afford to lose battles that we can, so... Minor inconvenience, whatever. Head back north. surrender. Yes, let's go. Alright. And build from there. Okay. As far as Dartax goes, these have separatism? Yeah, they do. Shit. Well, at least my vassals are helping me. Much fat. Oh, no, that's converting still. We do not have a single transport. That's depressing. Alright, can't concentrate that, can't concentrate that either. Alright, where else? 25. Nope, can't afford it. Yep, still need admin though, so I can't switch over. What are you? They don't even give separatism anymore. Because it can't, because they have nothing to give separatism to. I am going to hopefully let Sammy Gasha deal with everything. Maybe my beloved lovely little Nolish, or not Nolish, but cow people. These guys are troopers. They help me so often with the rebels and stuff. Oh, I accidentally tabbed out. Sorry. Okay. Um... Suppose I can grant these 3 provinces to them. Yeah, we can take that off. And hey, you guys. Congratulations. Apparently I cannot core those, so you get to have some free provinces. Okay. Oh yes, Korshash. Alright. I'd rather take the lines out. There's a statesman. Alright, 26,000. Yeah, I do a trade efficiency level 3. It's almost done. See if could I destroy that coalition? I think I absolutely could. Let's go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, control 1, 2. All right. Let me throw a few of these on Diplo just to get those extra points. See, the problem with demanding extra tribute is that it's money, and I do not care about money. I have money for days. Let's do enchantment. Actually, I will take that for a little bit of extra trade steering. How much admin do I have? I want to wait for those to get done, and then I want to have... There we are. Alright, let us do... In the Broken... Day of the Cat... Taste of Magic, Starfall... Foreign trade... I don't have Madasi, though. Son of Demiria. Alright. Wait for those two to be done. Okay. 4. 2. You know what? I actually will go ahead and give state-sponsored equipment. Even though it will mean I can make less money, it will make my infantry significantly better. Okay, we are nearly done converting. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to make them a tributary. Federation still has not formed, which is interesting. Alright, transfer. Okay, that's nearly all of the Caterodons of the south under our control. Except for 2 little wayward provinces. Okay. Luke fashioned herself Cleaver of Realms for her triumphs against the proud elven kings of Bulwar. A powerful and fearsome wizard, she unified the many minor Sandfang pacts of the Sur Mountains and became a nightmare for the Bulwari. Her realm and legacy will soon be cleaved in return, however, as our glorious legions march into Bulwar. Nulkind will rule these lands indeed, but only under the righteous stewards of Konolkhatep. Since the days of Rakhor, Bulwar has spent centuries and centuries under Nullish rule, be it Surreal-worshipping Sun-Crowned kingdoms or zealous Zabacultist Sandfang pacts. The Sun Elf conqueror Jaheir thoroughly liquidated any semblance of Null supremacy over these lands, pushing the bitter Sandfang remnants to the mountains and deserts. However, after the Phoenix Empire crumbled, many Nulls would try and seize the opportunity to restore their fondly remembered lordship over the Bulwari. One such Null was Luke Cleaver of Realms, a powerful mage who swiftly united the local pacts of the Sur Mountain, from the flail queens of Jixpix to the cruel slavers of Kravanga, and even the sun-crowned ruled pack of Kavikal. With her magic and army, she slew the Akal of Zansnap, humiliated the elven wizard Karadir I in duel, and subjugated the proud city of Bulwar. After these victories, she took a series of reforms, trying to forge a kingdom strong enough to outlast her and consolidate solid Nullish rule over Bulwar. Suffice it to say, we put an end to these delusions. The legacy of that wretched witch and her supposedly reformed armies were no match for the legions of Konolkhatep, and it is now clear that our victories were owed simply to the pitiful state of the Sun, Elven, and Bulwari kingdoms. Solid Nullish rule over Bulwar, of course, but only from the hands of the mighty Konolkhatep can such a thing come to be. The deep spiritualism of the Sandfang shall no more be wasted worshipping demons or dead sun gods. Under the blessings of the Khet, we will succeed where they spent generations failing, and cement our rule on the lands of the sun. The question is, should we absorb the Sandfang gnolls directly into Konolkhatep, forever erasing the old pacts of Sur Mountains, or should the Emperor take the crown of Tuluk and grant the Cleavers of Realm a degree of autonomy? Alright, that actually does not give us all that many to... what's it called? Alright. That does not give us that many to core, is what I was thinking. Would 90,000 men be enough to deal with this? Probably not. So that would require us bringing basically all of our legions to bear. They are protecting trade. Missed out on a little bit of money, but it's not too bad. There goes our Inquisitor. We do need one of those. 3, 12... Alright, we can derive what the Hui. What am I missing for this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can't raid that because truce, indeed. Found their army. There we are. That'll give us a little bit of extra cash to work with. Let's do Shadows in the Night, and then Fear and Loathing. That'll mostly be a issue for Sarian, but that's fine. Ideal piece would be that, but I am totally willing to just take those provinces, so that way I don't have to, in the future, deal with, like, shipping troops over. Hedonism is nice. I think I'll send an insult to... if we get my extra points. We also need to make sure to give make it in time. Alright. Army 1. Army 2. Can't have... no, they don't have many men left. Alright. We also want... that... Now we'll go siege Bulwar. Deploy rep level 3 for half off. Yep. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they got a model for that. That's the prison for wizards. Azkabar. Rather take that. Yeah, I'll take this because it'll make taking the, what's it called? With Brotherhood. Salvation, Defiance, Friendship, Conquest, Knowledge, Prosperity. I'll do that. to get some more military power so we can get caught up on Miltech, because this is painful. Thank God. Alright, that hurt a lot. Okay, the Empire's flame can go away for the moment. And then we can also start slappening recruitment. Oh, I deleted the wrong army. Shit. Whoops. I have 2 loans to pay off. Let's enforce religion on Zaka. About Chidari. That could be really funny. I should also be able to convert all that stuff really quickly. Yeah, we'll do run the distance. Oh, I need to go this way. Does that? Oh, yeah, does a little bit. heir is a scholar, and our current ruler is absolute shit. State magical thesis. Enchantment. Yeah, we can do that for a little bit. And we want to go 20, combat with is 29. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, out of manpower. Okay. I sit on Konolkhatep. Alright. Oh. Guess I must have converted that over to Imsrapian at some point. That's fine. It's not too big of a deal. Finally. It is a natural fact of life that some are made to serve and some are made to be served. Gnolls know this well, so do Keterodons. The greatest works of both mankind and Gnollkind have been built with the blood, sweat, blood, and tears of countless thousands of slaves. If we wish to build a glorious and prosperous empire, we will need to provide our economy with a significant supply of crop. Luckily, with our new magnificent fleet and the expertise of the recently absorbed Sea Scourge Gnolls, it should be a child's play to siege legions of servants from the unprotected shores of Bulwar. Mother's Delta. Oh, a few dwarves. Alright. Yeah. Sugar or cotton? It's either money or manpower. Oh, there's Sarna River. I feel like these grain-producing provinces should get the modifier as well. Alright. The packs of Kog'Zal and Kag'Rafa were each born under the rule of a twin sister, the two daughters of Maxoda, Gifter of Change. She split between her spawn, the realm she had forged by crushing the sun worshippers of Damsizar. Zykari made Kog'Zal a pack of ferocious hunters with a great love for spice. Kazet turned Kag'Rafa into a realm of traders obsessed with material wealth. If these small sister packs have managed to survive is mostly thanks to the talent in switching sides when inconvenient. The luck of these twin realms has, however, definitely run out. We will crush the both of them under our heel and seize their riches and talents for ourselves. Sisters, they were born. Sisters, they will die. Ever since the days of the twin Zaz, the Fieldstalker Gnolls have held the belief that identical twins are fated to a great destiny. The pack mistress, Magzada Gifter of Chains, who tore down the proud acolyte of Dasmazar and made honor to her title by enslaving thousands of Volwari, shared this superstition. As such, when she gave birth to twin daughters, she decreed that her new realm would be split in two upon succession to avoid a civil war between the sisters. As identical as they were on the outside, the sisters' personality greatly differed, and so the two packs they forged. The Zykari realm in Kog'Zal was one of the tireless hunters, that of Kazet and Kag'Rafa of avaricious traders. The Fieldstalker Gnolls have always been peculiar ones. Both of the sister packs paid lip service to the Zabacult, but it is no secret the veneration of the pack mother was always strong here. The devotion to this bestial goddess, who they believed to be the mother of Gnollkind, had a tight grip in the hearts of the hunters of Kog'Zala. The merchants of Kag'Rafa, however, more worried with coin than faith, saw no harm in tolerating and often embracing all sorts of belief from Zabacult to the Kavanga, and even the foreign faiths like the Bulwari Sultan cult and the Raheni philosophies. The light of Khetism shall wipe all these false faiths away, as we seize the lands and the riches of these packs and integrate the skilled hunters and merchants into our ranks. The delightful spices of Kog'Zal and the energizing coffers of Kag'Rafa will serve to enrich the diets and the coffers of the people of Konolkhatep. The question is, should we absorb the twin packs in our empire, placing these lands under our direct control, or should the emperor take the crowns of Kag'Rafa and Kog'Zala and grant the Gifter of Chains a degree of autonomy? You get a... Alright. And we will do... How many livestock producing provinces is that? Oh, it's quite a lot. Let us do feed the land, because that will give us lots and lots of manpower. guess it did it last month. Yes. Alright. Yeah, we can develop this. Let's go ahead and take out a loan. Do that. It took some time for the Ahadi to believe that we were actually seeking the good of Keterata and its people, and not just pretending for some kind of vile scheme, but now, with our continued cooperation, the advancing assimilation of our people into Keteratan culture, and our repeated victories in the battlefield surpassing anything recent human stewards had achieved, we can finally say that they trust us. We cannot say they will forever be loyal to our government, but at the very least, they have come to see the Saruman as an integral members of Keterata, and as such, as perfectly valid candidates for the stewardship. Perhaps it is time to consider something that was previously unthinkable. If a Knoll can be a steward, why wouldn't Knolls be able to join the Ahadi Brotherhoods too? Since the days of Menkuantst, who overthrew and executed Entef II for the unforgivable sin of selling Keterata to foreign powers, the Ahadi positioned themselves as the sole true defenders of the Sorrow, warding against both foreign threats and internal corruptions and tyranny. When the Kedark appointed us steward, they were forced to nominally accept our authority. However, they still slandered us as demons and monstrous usurpers opposing us at every step. Our ancestors would have taken these labels with pride and proved them correct by slaughtering them all to the last, as Grizka did with the Southern Brotherhoods. But we are not them. The Sarumanes are the true children of Elkahed, and as such, we owe respect to the ancient institutions of Keterata. We sought cooperation and understanding with the Ahadi, and while the journey was hard, we succeeded, and we have done in every other front. Faced with the glory that Keterata has achieved under our virtuous rule, the Ahadi have no choice but to accept the facts. We are not only legitimate stewards, we are the greatest and most noble rulers the Sorrow has seen in centuries. The anti-Knollish factions of the Brotherhood have been reduced to irrelevance, and while we cannot guarantee the eternal loyalty of the Ahadi to our government, we can be sure they recognize the Saruman as part of the Keteratan people. To further concentrate our people's ties with the Ahadi, today it has been announced that Knolls will be, for the first time in history, able to join the Brotherhood as merchants with the same status as their human counterparts. So, state merchants, which is that will, or that, and then Khet Guardians. So that's like plus 10. Alright. Transfer trade power here. Are we ready? Yeah, we will do that in the next episode, though. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and have a good day.